Hi and welcome to the Studio Marco Primeau. Today we're gonna talk about Magix Color FX tube distortion. But before we go, I just want to tell you what is coming to the channel. I received a license for Samplitude Pro X6, so I'm gonna plan some mixing only with the included plugin of Samplitude. And some of you asked how I produced all those videos, so I'm gonna try to show all the little things that I do. Also, there will be one plugin from Color FX still to be tested, which is the Bit Crusher. So this is going to come a bit later. Another video that some of you asked also is to do some explaining about gain staging, but on the analog domain on hardwares. So I'm all planning those videos and they will be out soon, so be patient. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to get notifications when new videos come around. Of course, sharing my video also helps. The tape distortion plugin comes in with the need of many to put some mojo on their recording in the digital world with those pristine preamps and microphones and converters. Nowadays, some of us are looking for adding some mojo, some imperfection to our recording, and this is to try to have the synergy that was present maybe in the 70s and the 80s. So this plugin has all those needs in mind, so let's see what it does. All right, we're gonna test it first on vocals. So let's solo a vocal track. And I'm gonna make a loop. And let's listen to it with just a compressor. There's no EQ done or anything else.
So good night, yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home.
Right, let's load the Color FX tube distortion. Plugin browser, go into vendor and audio plugin union, tube distortion. The first thing you need to do with this plugin is adjust the gain level, so the input level going in the plugin and the output level, the makeup gain. So I'm gonna hit play and I'm gonna use this icon which adjusts the level going in, and after that the level going out here. So I'm gonna hit play.
So good night, yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry.
Seems to be fine. And then we're gonna play with the settings and hear the difference.
So good night, yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home. So good night, yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home. So good night, so good night. Yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home. So good night. Yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home. So good night. So good night. Yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home. So good night. Yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home. So good night, so good night, yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home. So good night, yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home. So good night, so good night, yeah, good night. A good night train is gonna carry me home.
All right, let's try it on the bass maybe. So I'm gonna take the bass DI. and I'm gonna add the tube distortion. Now that you've used it once, you can go into your recent used. Before adding the plugin, we can hear that it's not very clean. I guess the DI went to a preamp and there was a bit of distortion already, but we're going to push it and hear what we can do with it. And maybe try a few preset too. Okay, I've just loaded a preset and there's a lot going on. They used the input filter to remove some high frequencies, and so it changes the sound a lot, and they pushed the gain as well. So we're gonna try to compensate and see what they did. The good thing about this, if you remove, let's see if we change the mix knob. So we might achieve some distortion in the low frequencies, but not in the high frequencies. Let's see if we can do that. Yep, and maybe we can do the other way around, saturate only the high frequencies. So I'm going to start with full mix. So that would be the frequencies that are saturated, and if we put down the mix knob, we will introduce the original signal. I very much like that, so very versatile. Last thing I will do is load a generator, a signal generator, and we can see on a spectrum analyzer what kind of harmonic distortion it gives. So let's do that. Another thing we can do is compare it to the distortion a tube preamp can give. So that's what we are going to do next. All right, let's check the signal path. I'm going to unmute it. So this channel goes to the software output reamp, which is this output. Then I'm going to send it to a physical output. And this physical output will be connected to the UA-L610, the physical unit. And of course, the output of the LA610 goes into another input of the RMA interface, and it's this one. So I'm gonna put some level to the OBS output, so you can hear what it does. And of course, I'm gonna lower any other signal. So now, if we push the preamp a bit, we're gonna see what it does. Seems to be hard to distort. We're gonna try again, but now I'm gonna push the output of the generator a lot higher. So now it is recorded on a track, so we're gonna analyze it with the spectrum analyzer. So let's play. Okay, let's compare it to what the generator and the plugin was doing. So Magix Color FX Tube Distortion is a very good distortion plugins. Of course, this one can go to very subtle effects and very natural effects like real hardware, and you can push it for not so natural distortions and saturate the hell out of whatever you want. So very versatile. I like the filters coming in, coming out, and the mix. Of course, you can mix a part of the original signal with the distortion one. So that's very great. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the like button, consider subscribing, hit the bell to get notifications when new videos comes about. Put questions and recommendations for future videos in the comments. And of course, share my videos. It's always a great help.